Happy, I guess, yes, it's Thursday. Happy new moon day. Today I'm going to be sharing a tip that will really help you change your life. And you have probably heard this before. It's not magic, it's not a secret, but it is something that I feel like is going to just land a little bit differently in your hearts and in your minds. So, let's get into it. I'm Jovhannah, the spiritual love healer. I help women heal their hearts and minds after experiencing toxic and or unhealthy relationships so that she can live abundantly ever after. Abundantly ever after is about reclaiming your power, your worth, your energy, your desire, your zest for life so that you can achieve your goals and have an abundance of love or success or travel or joy or bliss, whatever it is that you want to experience. So everyone's abundantly ever after is going to look different. But the key is that you know that it's safe for you to heal and move forward, releasing the baggage from your past so that you can, tap into the abundance of love and joy and all those good things that are available to you. Hey, Mia, thank you for tuning in. So, today's tip is to focus on yourself. And I know that it sounds really simple, like, of course, like, duh, like, isn't that what I'm doing? But I really kind of want to dive in a little deeper because it can seem like very surface level, like, oh, yeah, of course I'm focusing on myself. What else could I possibly be doing? So, I want to really just dive a little bit deeper into that. And this is kind of what helped me when I was depressed and struggling. It's what allowed me to transform my life and live my abundantly ever after. But now I'm working on a new level of abundantly ever after. So, when we think about focusing on yourself, I want you to be honest and ask, am I really truly focused on me? How much of my energy, my time, and my resources am I pulling within myself to get me where it is that I want to go? Or am I putting all of my energy into outside things, outside circumstances? Now, this is not about being selfish. It's not about, not having a life and staying indoors and never having fun, but it's really about you knowing who you are, knowing what you want, having boundaries, systems, and supports that are in alignment with you. And a lot of times we think, yes, I'm focused on myself. I do all the things that I'm supposed to do. I go to work, I pay my bills, I, do the things. But really, this is about you becoming the star of your own show. It's about you putting yourself first. And in order to do that, I think this is where we kind of get lost. We have to truly know who we are and who it is that we want to be. And sometimes that's the hardest thing because we either have attached ourselves to these labels that were placed on us, or we attach ourselves to our identities by being, who we're connected with. I'm a mom, I'm a coworker, I'm an employee. But it's like without all of that stuff, without the achievements, without the connections, without, everything else, who is it that you truly are? And so that's what focusing on yourself is about. You can also think of it as like self-love, but this is really you getting to a place where you're like, I really need me. I need me for me. And sometimes we can source our need for our own energy from other people. I need friends. I need, more connections. I need to work more. I need to do all of these other things because you feel like it's going to fill something within yourself when the thing that you very much need is already within you. You just kind of need to tap into that and start to connect in with your own energy, with your spirit, with your heart, with the essence of who you are. And then you start to realize like, okay, like I have the things that I need. And you start asking yourself some deeper questions. Well, what is it that I want? What do I want to experience in my life? So, like I said before, right, really focusing on yourself is about you becoming the star of your own show. And it's about you being mindful of what you're putting into your mind, the things that you're consuming. Are you always watching TV to the point that you're not, moving forward on your goals? Do you even have goals? Is there something that you deep down really, really want to do, but you kind of keep putting it off? One of the things that I used to talk about all the time when I was a lot younger was I want to start a YouTube channel and I want to talk about the things that, we're going through and all of this. And I would only talk about it. And like my friends at the time were like, yeah, that's a great idea. And we would, make plans to do it, but nobody really wanted to do it. And I realized the more that I keep waiting for these people, I am never going to move forward on this. So I was like, this is what I want. So why don't I focus on that? And so eventually I did start a YouTube channel, and it's still going and growing. And it's just one example of how, like, when there's something that we want to do or want to focus on, sometimes we can try to wait for other people to validate our ideas, or we feel like we need other people in on it to hold our hands, when really all we need is ourselves. And so when you start to focus on yourself, you're giving yourself the permission to do what you want to do. You're giving yourself permission to claim for yourself what you want. And so this can go for life, for business, for love, for whatever it is. But you have to know what it is that you want and start listening to those inner whispers. And that's what focusing on yourself is all about. I talk a lot about journaling and meditation because those two practices have been monumental in my journey of healing and just personal development overall. When you're able to sit with yourself and to really explore the inner workings of your heart and mind, you start to really connect with yourself on a deeper level. The things that you may have entertained in the past, they start to change, and you really start to shift your priorities a bit. Make sure that the things that you are consuming are healthy, that they're nourishing you, that they're supporting you. If you're someone who getting on social media feels like a drain, or you're always comparing yourself and you feel like, nobody loves me, or I don't have this type of relationship, or I don't have this type of body, leave it alone. Take a break from it and find other ways to really nourish your soul. Start by evaluating every area of your life, like what needs to change, what does not feel in alignment for you, what things do you want to see shift so that you can welcome in abundance. Do you need to make new friends? Do you need to reach out to old friends that you haven't talked to in a few years? Do you need to spend more time reading or journaling or pursuing your degree? What is it that you want to do for your life that is going to bring you joy, that's going to bring you bliss, that's going to bring you love? Start focusing on those things. Set goals for yourself. Think about where you want to be in 6 months, in a year, 3 years, 5 years, and really allow yourself to dream big. One of the first exercises that I always have people do is to get clear on who they want to be, what they want to experience, so that you know where to focus your energy. A lot of times, and this is why this was the tip for today, focus on yourself, because we're so busy worried about other people. We're also not really taught to connect with ourselves or to pursue our passions or our dreams, right? Everybody has a pathway for us that they feel that we should walk. Everybody wants to put us in, boxes and wear their labels and all of these different things, when we really just need to focus on ourselves and get clear on who it is that we were created to be and what it is that we desire to experience. And then you'll start to see that you can navigate life a little bit differently with a little more ease and a little more joy. That will translate over into your relationship spaces as well. When you know who you are and you know what you want, you are a lot more clear on what you will accept and what you will not tolerate. The type of people that you entertain are going to shift and change as you shift and change. So you may have heard, people say, like, our relationships are a reflection, they're mirrors, and that's true. So when you start to project a different energy about yourself, when you start to hold yourself to a higher standard and you really come to a deeper knowledge of who you are, you're going to start to align with people who are doing the same, who can see the truth of who you are, and who are going to be able to hold space for you and accept you in deeper ways than what you've experienced in the past. And this goes for your romantic relationships. This also goes for friendships, your personal relationships. As you start to really change and start to focus on yourself more, you may notice that some of your friendship circles will change. When you start to grow and develop, that might make the people around you uncomfortable because maybe you're not doing some of the same things that you used to do before. And you have to be okay with that. It does not mean that you have to hate each other forever. It just means that, that you're growing apart and that space is needed. Alternatively, what happens is that some people start to grow and because of fear, right? You start to bump up against the fear. You start to battle with, will I be accepted? You want to belong. So sometimes like you may sabotage yourself and stop your journey and just kind of go back into the same habits that are comfortable to you. So just be mindful of that as you are creating change in your life, as you're shifting your focus, shifting your priorities, and really getting to almost like getting to know yourself again, right? This can happen at any point in your life. After having children, after leaving a relationship or getting into a new one, it's almost like you have to recalibrate and really tune into like, who am I in with these new experiences that I've had? Like, how have I changed? How have I grown? And all of the changes don't necessarily have to be bad, right? We can enter into good relationships that teach us so much about ourselves, and maybe that relationship ends for whatever reason, but you still have had that experience and it's shifted you and it's changed you, and those are beautiful things that you can carry on with you. Another thing, that when you are kind of like looking at your life, like do kind of peer into those relationships and get clear from the things that you've experienced in the past that maybe did not feel good, that weren't really as loving as you would have thought, and ask yourself, like, why did this occur? Like, how or what can I learn from this experience to prevent it from happening in the future? So what kind of boundaries do I need to set within myself? And make a list of things, like I said, that you will not tolerate, things that you're not willing to settle on, and hold yourself to those things. So when you're focused on yourself, no one else can come along and knock you off of balance, because you know what it is that you are training your energy on. So if something comes up and you're like, oh, this doesn't resonate, this is not in alignment with who I want to become, this is outside of my scope of focus, you already know not to even entertain it. So you stay focused on what matters most for you. So I hope that this has blessed somebody today. I have a lot of amazing things available. If you click the link in my bio, there is a free guide that you can download that helps you explore the energy of love. And I kind of break down the different frequencies to help you identify patterns that you may have had in past relationships. So now that you are aware that these patterns exist, you're able to start shifting the energy of love in your life and choosing differently. So go ahead and download that. It is amazing, and it's definitely going to help you as you continue to grow and evolve. I am sending you an abundance of love. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I will see you again tomorrow. Peace.